Hello everybody, welcome to UP Wrestling's Indie Show, which still doesn't have a name because we're dead clever. I'm your host Martin, and I'm joined, as ever, by Kirsty.
Hi.
And everyone's favourite power-hungry German, Flo. It's McLean! Anyway,
That's still not working.
It's been a bit of a weird couple of weeks.
Strange.
Because the whole sex abuse / possible rapey thing that's going around Hollywood has spread to wrestling, and more in particularly indie wrestling. I think I might as well kick off with Michael Elgin. So the story goes, one of his students was either sexually assaulted or raped by another student. And he knew all about it, didn't punish the man responsible, and then proceeded to basically try and have his way with the victim. I've seen some of the messages. They are not nice, including things like, I will happily talk wrestling with you. If you want to talk about anything else, you'll have to give me a blowjob first.
Oh,
Isn't that great?
I will happily talk to you if you give me oral. If not, this conversation is over.
As somebody who's been to a wrestling school as a female, let me assure you that none of this is normal. This is a fucking...
I would be worried if somebody heard this coming out my mouth now and went, well, that's just standard.
I want to clarify that this isn't what wrestling... If you're thinking about getting into wrestling, just don't go to Michael Elgin's fucking school.
Well, he doesn't have it anymore. He sold it just before all this came out, funnily enough, or just about the same time.
What a coincidence!
Yes, magic. And there was also what he was saying about Jeff Cobb. The same woman had published these messages saying, you know, just kind of joking around with them, you know, saying, like, I bet Jeff Cobb smells amazing and things like that. And he says, no, he doesn't. He smells terrible and he's a terrible partner. I hate how he's been in New Japan for a minute. If any gaijin comes to New Japan, they go to me or Kenny Omega for advice, he says. And instead, this guy's been there a month and he's hanging out with War Machine and not asking me about the things and thinking he owns the place and blah, blah, blah. Whereas everybody else in wrestling's went, well, you're talking shite.
Who the fuck did they hit me and Kenny Omega? Fuck off.
He seems to think he's a big deal.
Like, who the fuck is Michael Elgin in the grand scheme of New Japan?
Well,
like,
I was discussing before earlier, he's the mid card.
I think he is.
He's the mid card. So he is. But the thing that I'm wondering, now we know all these US indies have decided to cut him from their bookings, quite rightly. In Japan, this kind of stuff isn't really viewed the same as it is in the West. It's not encouraged or anything, but, you know, it's not quite the scandal that it is to Westerners. Well, yeah. But normally you would think, well, they'll probably just, you know, either put them in a few spot matches out the way or leave them off for a few weeks and then business as usual. But with the Western expansion going on, I don't see how they can do that. I think they have to get rid of them. I'm going to be interested to see what it is New Japan decide to do with them.
It's such a mess because they can't allow this to.
Well, exactly. The PR, they can't afford bad PR when they're trying the expansion.
Aye.
So I wonder what they're going to do, and we'll find out this week. And since we're on the subject of wrestling scumbags, Rich Swann
is
arrested for domestic battery
against his wife,
kidnapping. Now, and just before we go into the detail here, in Florida, kidnapping can be anything from refusing to let someone leave the room while you're talking to them to actually kidnapping.
Then kidnapping.
Well, apparently she left in her car and he chased her down in his car and forced her to drive back. And this is the point where he's apparently grabbed her outside the house and dragged her in by her neck.
Put
There's
her
two
in a
witnesses.
headlock.
Yep. there's two witnesses. One had said that she looked absolutely terrified of him. There's been mention that he's got a history of this kind of thing, but it's never came out before. He is suspended. I think it took about 12 hours, roughly, which is pretty quick. I have to say, WWE standards especially. Given that there's two witnesses and that this is everywhere, I really can't see he'll be employed by the end of this week.
Well,
Aye.
here's the catcher. He's got a number one contenders match on Monday.
No, he doesn't, he?
So
Because he's
what-
suspended.
Aye, so there's no scrambling going with the like. they'll
Oh, I
probably
mean,
put in Cedric
knowing
Alexander.
Vince, he'll probably just put in Cedric Alexander and
Aye.
then say, "On you go, Shelton, you do it." Because he calls all black people Shelton. Because they're all the same to him.
Oh, yeah.
You're terrible.
I'm no Vince McMahon, don't blame me.
But,
Anyway.
I just
Fucking awful.
like the fact that there's two witnesses, the fact that she's quoted saying that he's got a temper. It's
Mhm.
the fact she looks terrified. I'm like, oh, where's this gone?
Mm.
Because the incident alone is bad enough.
Aye.
But where's the rest of the wee seeds that have just been thrown in there, Goily? Because I love them. Like, up until this morning, and then I was like, oh, you're a dickhead. I can't like you. I just... Why?
Yeah, like what the hell is
Why?
going on lately?
Like,
Ugh, I
what's in the
know.
fucking water then now?
Rape.
Apparently so. That's why I asked that I drank tea.
It's disgraceful. Not really anything else you can add to it other than he is a disgrace. And
I mean,
Pretty much.
TNA still take them, so it's fine.
ICW will have him.
Aye, so there's a couple of places that can work.
But it's just.
The thing is, she's a wrestler as well, so...
Aye. It's not like she can't defend herself, but the fact that you've
that's
got
what I
witnesses
meant.
saying she was utterly terrified of him.
It's just... It's one thing to get done for, like, for hitting a spouse that's outside of wrestling where nobody knows her, but when the two of them have been wrestling and been together for so long,
Mhm.
everybody who knows him will know her.
Aye.
And so that's when it's going to be, and it should be difficult for him, like, but that's when it will start to get really messy because nobody that you used to want to work with and have the issue with will no longer touch you because they'll sympathise with her. More so because
Well, you
they
would
know her.
hope so.
Well, I would hope so, but then again, this is the wrestling business.
Aye,
and-
maybe Michael Elgin will open up another fucking indie fed and have him for that. Eh?
Oh
Him
boy.
versus Bram versus Alberto in a three-way of shite-hawks.
Put them all together in the most disgraceful tag team ever.
And actually have them in wife-beater vests.
Aye,
Aye, just go whole hog in it with the scumbags.
fucking
No time for them.
between Alberto's interview, Michael Elgin's shit, fucking
Bram's podcast.
Bram's fucking podcast, and now Rich Swann. I'm just like, this is why nobody takes wrestling seriously.
Well, no, the thing is, though, see if they did take wrestling seriously and this was getting out, it would be all over the news. They're lucky right now
Aye, they are.
that they're still looked upon as carnies. I mean, earlier in the week, fuck Vince Russo, but he was, and this will piss Kirsty off, right? He on his podcast said that during his time in WWE as a writer, so not while he was on the magazine in the mid-90s, this is like 97, 98, 99, right? He says a female wrestler approached him and accused a male wrestler of raping her. And he did nothing. He didn't go to the authorities. He told her to keep her head down because if he'd spoke up, he'd have got fired for it. And instead, he's kept the story to himself to give it in a podcast later and get paid for it.
Wow.
So, personally, I think he's probably talking shit.
Oh, he's a
But
fucking
if that's
arsehole.
true, that's unforgivable. He's as bad as a rapist.
Aye, he could be charged as an
Another thing is,
incest.
when you look at the time period, there wasn't many women there. Right? China was going out with Triple H at the time, and let's be honest, if something had happened to her between Shawn Michaels and Triple H, somebody would have got fired there.
And her. Like, I'm pretty
Probably
sure.
her as well at the time, aye. And then you look, who else did they have at the time? And I know it's not nice to speculate and all that, but really there is only a handful. You've got Sonny, who would probably just consent to anything
That's
as long as it
horrible.
involved pills. That is horrible. She's horrible. Just saying. Like, she would not be the person to claim that, because even if she did, because of her reputation, she would never have been taken seriously.
Well, it could have been heard then if Vince's like, just keep your head down, because he knew that.
Aye,
he
on the
would
other
take them
hand, I was
seriously,
going to
but
say
it's
is,
still terrible. Like, it
if
should be investigated.
Sonny's though the kind of person who would have sat in that, should have hit out with that in one of your
Aye, true.
shoots to get attention on it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's not the right way to handle it, but none of this has been handled properly. So you've got her.
Call people out in their bullshit. Do you know what I mean? She's going
Aye.
to live with that if that
Right,
happens.
so during that kind of time period, China, Sonny, Sable, Jackie, Terry / Marlena.
Aye.
I'm trying to think of anyone else.
I can't.
Ivory.
Maybe.
So,
Yeah.
but the thing is, most of those women named there are pretty fucking tough. Like
It's not a big
Jackie.
this though.
Well, no, but I don't. They wouldn't be the sort to keep quiet about it.
You,
You would think.
but if but you've got to think, right? If you're this big tough woman that wrestles and is trying not to look,
I
don't
suppose so.
want
You
to
wouldn't
be-
really want people to look at you in that way because it
Aye,
happened.
because it would hurt their reputation. If
Aye.
they've already been through enough, I can totally understand if one
Yeah.
of them went, "Do you know what, no,
Mhm.
I'll keep this with me," especially if they went to a person of authority and they said, "Keep your head down." Then
Aye.
if nothing's happening, then I'll keep it to myself and talk about it
Mhm.
once I'm outside this business.
But-
I totally wouldn't.
No, you've got this arsehole saying he never did anything about it.
He can be charged. He was a person in a company of authority. He had a fucking duty of, no, maybe not a duty of care, but a
Well,
duty
that's
of
the
something.
thing though, because he's just a writer. He wasn't actually in charge of talent. He was just doing writing.
Still
He was
should
just.
have passed that on.
He absolutely should have. I'm not defending him. I'm just saying
Because, like,
it's
I
a
know
bit
my work's
tricky,
different.
legally speaking.
I don't know, right? I work in care, right? So everything has to be passed on. Anything of any suspect, anything
Aye.
on anything. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's the same in other work because I've only ever worked in care.
I certainly
So, like,
wouldn't have imagined it being the case in late 90s WWF.
I mean, but
They were
how-
still pretty
How do you
carny then.
sleep? How do you sleep at night?
Aye,
Knowing that they're
exactly.
still
Well,
working in the same fucking locker room and you know about it and have done nothing to try and. Oh, I hate them.
and to think that he's decided to bring up this
And no,
story,
it's his story to
assuming
tell all of us.
he's all made it up and he's come out with that, so that starts the speculation. It gets people clicking on his shite.
So now what we're doing is we're not looking into, well, who was there during the years, and
Now
then
he's getting attention on him.
and then the women are, look, if it did happen, this woman has now seen like us specifically, people on the internet talking about it and realising that
I know,
she might well be
that
before she's
could
ready.
very well have triggered her.
Like, fuck me, you're a fucking cunt. Like,
Yep.
an absolute fucking disgrace here, man. And if anything, the way the fucking women worked then is a fucking attribute to what you actually think of women, and you can go fuck yourself, you big ugly motherfucker. You have failed in one of the most important fucking tests handed to a person. Something really bad happened to me and I'm asking for your help. Long no sorry. You're a dickhead, Vince, man. Oh, I'm so done right now. Like, I'm glad everybody's talking about it, but the merit comes out about people. I'm like, you Tay, you're a dick. I did like you. Why have you got to be like this? Why? It's so easy to be a good person.
Yeah, but money corrupts people, and Vince is
Well,
such a
the other-
person.
The other thing this brings up is, if they weren't going to bring it up, does that mean it was somebody high up in the chain?
That is
Or, but then at the same time, given the time it was, it could very well have been anyone, and they just went, "No, we don't want her first. Shut the fuck up," you know, which is still abhorrent
And
completely.
again, the 90s, it isn't like there's a reason people are just coming out the new, and it's a big thing in the world the new, because up to this point, people And women especially have felt that, well, I won't say that because guys don't report it nearly as much as women do these days. But like, just as a society, we have been terrified to address this problem. And that's sickening that it took to 2017 before people went, aye, by the way, me too. Like, something really fucking awful happened, and since we're all talking about it, I'll chime in. Like, that should never have been the case, and that's what, at least 20 years ago, if we're talking about 97, like 20, like, when I
Roughly,
was
aye.
4,
If
when I was
it happened
3,
when he
4,
cleaned, it was.
well, even then, anywhere before, I'd say 5, 10 years ago, people just only come out with these stories, and that's why this is such a big fucking prominent
Mess.
time. And for him to be trying to cash in on somebody else's pain is despicable. It's the monetization of not his story. If it was his story and he was like, here, listen, this happened to me, I'd be like, that's dead sad. I'm really sorry that happened. You tell your story and you monetize your story if you want to, because you've dealt with enough shit because of it, so you cash in, high five. But it's not his fucking story. He's trying to cash in on somebody else's story. You don't get to. Oh, especially when you've done nothing to help. I hate him.
And I mean, the other thing is, you need to remember, if the media pick this up, then you're going to be looking at that female referee, Rita Chatterton, I think her name was, who accused Vince of raping her in the back of his limo. And then that'll lead to the Pat Patterson Ring Boys scandal coming up again. And I've no doubt other people are going to come forward with their own stories, because the kind of business it was in the 80s and 90s, it attracted scumbags, let's be honest.
If you want to see how WWE/F thought about women, all you need to do is look at how they treated them on what they were willing to show you on the telly, and then just imagine what was happening backstage. I can't.
Aye.
There has to be a reason that, like, for a long time, women, like, haven't been interested in being in wrestling. Like, for a majority, it's always been, it's still a female.
The other thing is,
industry.
I should have mentioned there, the one thing that WWE cannot afford is that if the media start looking into this and they get a hold of Moolah and what she did to those female wrestlers in the 70s and 80s,
aye,
that will not go away quickly.
No, because the thing is it's one of the kind of silently we all know about it things, but nobody really ever brings it up. But if somebody like a big newspaper or somebody in America properly breaks this to the masses, and like the Muller story would be bad enough on its own, but see if they systematically go through, or they like go through dirt sheets of the fucking years. There's so much that they can bring up and then bring it back to as recently as, like, fucking, like, Michael Elgin and his school and fucking Rich Swann dragging his girlfriend in a heatlock, and then Benoit. I know it isn't a sexual thing, but, like, it's just going to be painted, like, wrestling is just going to be smeared with this. It's brutal and sexist and fucking rapey as all holy hell, and we do not want. Because the majority are actually decent people that like wrestling, and we do not agree.
Well, aye, exactly.
It's not good. They're fucking ruining it for everybody. Fuck all you idiots.
And like you said earlier, with looking back at that moment when how they treated women back then, it's not even look. It's just look at how they treated the women's wrestler in general, except for like China, who got even the Intercontinental title back then, but everything else was just, yeah, let's say disgraceful.
But do you want to know why China got that treatment? Because no man who went to wrestling could look at China and go, do you know what, she could probably knock me out. Like, nobody was willing to try and bring her down to what they want. Like, she wasn't a sex object, she was there to kick somebody's head in, which is how you should look at Asuka. It's great when you look at wrestlers like this. Becky puts an armbar in and you're like, she's going to fucking break somebody's arm. But Ronda Rousey, you wouldn't dare walk up to Ronda Rousey and try and chat her up my bar, because you know she'd probably kick your cunt in. Like, and again, like, most of their names are from 2012 onward. So in the last 5 years, there's been this massive shift, and that's why I think people are now going, well, since you now actually can see my face, like, before my tits, can we have a conversation about this, please? It's a weird time to be like, I'm happy
Well,
it's happening, because
The thing is, I was just going to say, one of the replies to the tweet about Vince Russell saying this, Shelley Martinez says she almost got raped on one of the overseas tours. I think it was one of the, visiting Iraq things.
Mhm.
Since then, others have shared with me that they were raped. And I mean, that's like in the 2000s, those stuff.
Aye. Like, that's what I'm saying, like, it's ridiculous how systematic it seems to be in, like, American television culture, which WWE is part of. Like, let's be honest,
Oh, aye.
it's more part of the television culture these days than it is the fucking wrestling culture. But it just seems systematic that if you work on telly and all your bosses are all men, then one of them's going to be, like, statistically, one of them's going to be a sleazy bastard, and you're going to have to deal with that. That's horrible.
Yeah.
And to deal with it in silence, like, no more. We're done with this. Assholes.
And I mean,
It's just
some of them
horrible.
are just coming out with this because they're just feeling more comfortable talking about it now, because
Yeah.
it's
Which
been a
is
while,
great,
and
which
yeah.
I love, but I hate that it's the sheer amount. Like, I want people to be able to come forward, and I want, like, a time where that's acceptable to come forward and say, no, this happened to me, male or female. But it's the sheer volume that's just staggering. And it's like, wow, like, we knew it was a problem, but now you suddenly realise how fucking bad the top to bottom in society this problem is, and you're like, I don't want to live in this world anymore. Can I go to Mars, please, and take a Wi-Fi? Like, power away me.
It's just, I know it's not really indie now, but it's something that's, I think, is going to come up in a big way soon.
Aye.
And I think
I think it has
once someone slightly even mainstream catches it, it's going to open the floodgates.
So that's
and we're going to find out a lot about a lot of people, and we are not going to enjoy it.
Yep.
Anyway, this is an indie show. We should probably talk about indie stuff now.
Yep.
Well, it started off with sleazy indie people. We just walked away.
Aye, we
Yeah.
just, there was an
So
actual
I think
branch.
the next topic should be what Cody and the others are planning right now.
I'm sorry if you can hear the dogs barking. They're being dicks.
No, that's all right.
No, it's not. They're being dicks. Anyway, so Cody and the Bucks announced they're going to be running a 10,000 seater, probably round about next September, November stadium. They have narrowed it down to 3 places, which is either going to be the west coast of the US, so California, the Midwest US, I don't really know what's in there, or Dublin.
I think Midwest is Chicago, isn't it?
I don't know.
I might be totally wrong. American.
Well, exactly. I
Don't
don't want to
shout
say
at me.
because I'm not very good at the geography there. But anyway, Kenny Omega's going to be on it. Obviously, Bullet Club. They are teasing Daniel Bryan and CM Punk,
Which would be the single most hyped thing. And was it Will that said that if Punk came back to wrestling, he wouldn't get a pop? What, see if Punk shows up at this, by the way, will eat his fucking words, and I'm going to send them the pop like 19 times. Like, listen to this bitch, I swear.
Oh, I had said it wouldn't be quite the pop that it would have been had he not done UFC.
I agree, and it wouldn't it be the pop if he left WWE and then went straight to
just,
New Japan or ROH?
Like, see if
But
even
it's
if he
still
just
gonna
sat
be-
out for a couple of years
Aye, and
and then
he
did
went
this,
somewhere
it would
else,
have went
aye.
mental. But the fact that the one time people have seen him, he was on his arse, is
To
going
be
to
fair, it was some baby
deflate a wee bit.
speech at the end.
I know. Anyway, it's something I'm very
Aye, and
interested in. I would like to go, but
mm,
we'll see what happens and when it is. Especially with Debray.
especially if ROH sign off on it, like, and they let.
Oh, they will.
And
They will.
I know they
They
will.
need Cody and the Bucks. They need them.
Somebody, I can't remember what podcast it was I was listening to, but somebody brought up a really good point that it happened with NXT's like most recent example where they ran that 10,000 seat arena or 13 or whatever it was and sold it. And knew every time it's a takeover, they're now doing them in these big arenas.
Aye.
And the problem that ROH might see with that is even if they do it for like a pay-per-view or even a final battle, if they do it like at the like Bullet Club something or another, but like even if it then means that every single year at final battle they need to sell it a 10,000 seat arena, it becomes
the thing is though,
big show.
They don't need to worry about anything like that because Cody and the Bucks are paying for this themselves.
Yep.
Do you
All
not
of
think
this
though if
own
all
pocket.
if
it goes well, show, then maybe they'll consider it for the year after. Because you're going to get a lot of New Japan talent on this as well, I reckon. And probably a few UK guys from Rev Pro, thanks to their wee link up. As I'll discuss in a wee bit, Cody is fucking crazy for BT Gunn. So he is, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the card either. But anyway, if this sells out, and there's no reason to think it won't with the kind of talent they're talking about, then I think Ring of Honor will seriously look at doing the same thing the year after. The difference being Ring of Honor don't lose the money the TV company that owns them does. And
Sinclair
can take
will
it.
not be worried. They're not going to be too concerned.
No.
The thing is, but I think that was the concern when Cody first came out and said it. They were like, we'll need to do this every year. Like, people are not expecting it. And I think that's why Bucks and Cody were like, do you know what, we'll do it. And then we'll see how it goes. And I think that's probably going to push them towards the, I will do it. But that's like, when I heard that, I was like, that might be a concern for them. That if it's
I think they'd be up for it because if they sell this out, it's going to show that the audience is there for it.
And the thing is again, as it's been pointed out, the TNA only sold out, the largest they ever sold out was like 7,000, even at their peak. So like, since WCW shut down in America, like, if it doesn't happen in America, then this doesn't count. But no other company in America besides WWE since WCW shut down has sold out a 10,000 seat arena. So it'll be a massive statement of this. Like, our audience is behind us, and
the thing is, as much as they maybe don't want to admit it, they wouldn't be trying this if it wasn't for what ICW pulled with the Hydro last year. And now Progress are going to do something similar at Wembley Arena next September, is it?
So that's the thing, is so many indies that are newer or like run about the same age in ICW's case, they're starting to do it, and it's that race to the top to see out of the indies, because ROH firmly has been second, third indie.
Speaking of, sorry, just while we're on the subject, speaking of ICW, a lot of speculation that, well, we already knew their announced attendance was a sack of shite because there was about 2,000 less.
Yeah.
A bit of speculation that it was even less than that. You maybe only had like 2,500 in there.
Oh boy.
Which is less than half the audience they had the year before.
But it's
now,
fine.
Since we're talking about them, let's point out this shite that they pulled the other day. Now, Matt Sydal, or Seidel, however the fuck they say it, I don't give a fuck. Evan Bourne, he was booked for British Championship Wrestling, which is actually based in Scotland. He was booked for 2 dates. One was in Falkirk in a singles match, one was in East Kilbride in a 4-way match. Right?
He about this in a minute, by the way, but continue.
He was paid $1,200. A total of $1,500, $300 went to his agent, right? So he received $1,200 for these bookings. He then doesn't show up and claims an act of God stopped him. The BCW get in touch with his agent, who gives him his $300 cut back. They get in touch with Seidel, who then says, I don't have the money. He only got it like 2 days before. They kicked off. They ended up going through Impact, who are you know, they have final say in these bookings. Impact gave them the money. We don't know what the original money is. The day after this, Mark Dallas goes on Twitter and says, well, he's blacklisted because he did that.
Aye.
And everybody
Wow.
goes, what? He's blacklisted for the money, but you'll happily have a guy who beats women and laughs about it and can't handle his drink on your show. And then they post a fucking clip proclaimed to be backstage at Fear and Loathing 10 with the interviewer going to find Bram and Martina. They walk in on Martina performing oral on Bram, and then Martina says, are you going to join in or are you going to fuck off? And also Bram was making some comment about how this is like a really edgy sex act, and if no wonder he beats up women if he thinks that's how edgy sex is.
I just can't.
I know, it was a disgrace.
I never watched
Unbelievable.
it because it had Bram in it, but you know.
I just popped up on my Twitter and I was like, why is everybody off and put it on? And it's like, that's pretty innocuous, but then I found out what he was saying about the other stuff with BCW. And you can just shake your head. I mean, do you really think WWE are going to put up with this?
Exactly. WWE already let go of him. Like.
And not just that, but the fact that they're going with this, he beats up women storyline, and then they have that online
kind of
2 weeks after Triple H has been in their ring.
Just baffles me.
I know, and I don't know how WWE's no saying, right, you know, we'll give you that money. You keep this up, we're pulling it. Because they don't want it associated with this kind of shit.
Especially no way everything else going on now.
Mm-hmm.
Just for sure, like they fired them for a reason, not to have them subcontracted out.
Aye,
Essentially
exactly.
is what's fucking happening.
So now you've got basically a bunch of middle-aged men acting like edgy teenagers and failing. It's just like, oh, what's up, fellow kids? We're fucking ICW and we're edgy.
It's so cringe.
But speaking of,
sorry,
you go first. Kirsty, go.
So, as you know, my boyfriend's doing a thing, you know, like a mad course, and through part of it, one of the lecturers that he's in is a wrestling fan.
Right.
So he, I can't remember if it was like his lecturer's like brother-in-law or like something to do with him is the owner of BCW.
Right.
And so obviously I told Matt that on the Sunday, I told him during the week what had happened with the show, and then he went in the next day and spoke to his lecturer guy, and the guy lost his mind. He was like, so Matt's idea was going about saying is like, if you probably all seen it on like Twitter and everything, he was saying that he couldn't have got another flight because he didn't have the money to pay for it and stuff.
Aye.
The money was offered to him, like then and there. They were like, pay for another flight just to
and he said no
and get here, and he wouldn't do it. So then they offered him another flight for another city and a connecting flight to get there. And he wouldn't do it, and then said that he couldn't refund the money either because he didn't have it. And that they should do what all other people do, all other bookers, and put it towards the next time they want to bring him here. Who wants to try and bring you back here after that fucking Matt Sydal, an act of God?
Did he show up this time?
I don't
Why
know.
would we want to book you again, you fucking scumbag?
Here's our money back.
Exactly.
We don't want to deal with you. Indie wrestling now is so populated in the UK that we don't need to bring in
Aye,
like
exactly.
Matt Sydal.
Don't need them.
We're good. You're like, we're offering you a booking because people thought you were like what you were.
People like you.
Aye, but no, they don't like you, and we certainly don't need that. We don't need you. So gears our money back and fuck off. Like when Matt came home and told me, I was like, look at you getting the inside wrestling scoop. Like fuck me. The lecturer was there at that show, and they had to bring in somebody else. I can't remember who they ended up bringing in, but they brought in somebody else. And the show went on as planned, but like everybody at that show was fucking reeling. Like people brought their wins out in the call to see Evan Bourne, and Evan Bourne was not showing up
because he's a cunt.
Oh, it was so maddening. But that was just my wee side story of.
So, we were speaking about WWE issues earlier. when I think about it, and they had issues with Austin Aries, and they are probably wondering why he's doing great now in the Indies. Like, he's main eventing one show after the other.
That's because as it has always been, Austin Aries is a main eventer.
Yep.
And every other, and ROH he was a main eventer. Part of the reason I loved Age of the Fall so much was their feud with Austin Aries. Like, he's great. He was the first ever fucking two-time champion, for God's sake. And then he went to TNA very quickly, shot up there too. But then WWE get him and go 205 Live. What? What? How?
That was just another move of them because the 205 Live's rating were down, except for Neville pushing them up. It was a
great idea to put him against Neville.
I know.
I was like, give me the two of them. Like, I was so there for it. But then, as he said in his first interview when he came out, where does he go? Because where does he go for three? Like, no fucked up losses, no really cheating losses, but like actual, like proper fucking clean was the word I was looking for there. Clean pins. Like, where does his character go for doing the Keld on 205 Live? Because
there's nothing
to
gain there.
With Neville, how did they know? Like, after the whole Enzo thing, it was the perfect opportunity to go, right, we'll promote you to the heavyweights.
Yeah.
Since, in storyline, you can't wrestle for this title anymore.
I don't know if you've seen the day, but there was an update with Neville's contract.
Apparently the talks have broken down.
Apparently it is no radio silence, so he was apparently meant to come back. He was meant to go to SmackDown, which would take him out of 205 Live, so he'd be a main roster guy. And he was meant to do that on the end of the European tour, and obviously it's nearly a month.
Yeah.
And nothing. Absolutely. He's not back. We would have noticed. So
WWE just dropped the ball.
Just silent. I don't know if they changed their mind on him leaving 205 Live,
not.
or if he just decided that even going to SmackDown, it wasn't good enough. Like, he just wasn't up for going back. But something has clearly happened, and
that's bizarre. Certainly keep an eye on the situation, but this is an indie show.
Well, he might be going back to the Indies, and Austin is on the Indies.
He had such amazing matches with Marty Scurll and others. It's just
the Marty Scurll one had me quite happy. I'm not going to lie.
I know.
I was all about that one.
Well, I'm going to take this as a convenient segue to discuss Discovery Wrestling.
On you go.
Since you've brought up Marty. So, finally talking about it on this, since it was a surprise from a girlfriend. Discovery Wrestling had Discovery versus Bullet Club on Thursday night there, and as part of it, they had a meet and greet, which was fantastically well organised. Paid a little bit extra. They give you like a signed poster. You get a photo with the Bullet Club boys. I wanted to go over what had happened when we got in. So, seen Joe Henry, who was in full bad guy mode. The prestigious one.
You were going to say phenomenal again, weren't
I
you?
was just take my time. Anyway,
he's not that good, right? Having yourself.
So, went over to say hello to him and his girlfriend, who I know through going to ICW shows. And I said hello to her, and I turned to him, and he says, it's £100 to talk to myself about any non-merchandise related matters. Is there not a discount for like friends and family? Like, no. Well, I'll consider this a freebie, so have a good show. So I'd set up a photo up with the Bullet Club for Kat, which she dragged me into. I've got the photos up on Twitter and stuff. Gentleman, absolute gentleman. Crazy tan though, like the fake tan was all over the place. Jesus Christ. It was so funny because they showed him being elite, them putting too much on all the time. They've clearly just done it. They were so orange.
Quite a sight to behold, isn't it? Because you see where there's nowhere to air their eyes. Obviously you can't put it on your eyes, so they'll just
totally.
these white goggles.
White bits where the goggles have been. Kat had her Cody t-shirt on. Cody gave her a hug, which she freaked out about.
Of course.
Just like a real grown-up.
Listen, I remember, like, fair enough, I was 15, but like, he told me to calm down and touched my arm, and I fucking swear to God, for like 3 weeks, that's all I spoke about. Like, he touched me.
Like, I'm never gonna wash my arm again.
Pretty sure I said that at some point, but by the end of the night, I was like, no, I need a bath.
Hey, I'm pleased to say the four of them are just class acts, and it was nice to talk to Marty for a bit. Nick Jackson says Matt says I should get in the roids and Vince will sign me even if I'm useless at wrestling. Because I'm not at all.
Confirmed. Have you seen Baron Corbin? You'll be
no, exactly. And my face isn't on my belly or looking sad.
Exactly. Smiles and your hair is like still there, so you know.
Well, exactly. Nothing's receding. So go me.
Except for your
they were great. They were really nice. Signed photos and all that, and had a great time meeting them. But the actual show itself was really high quality. It was Marty versus Flip Gordon.
I love Flip Gordon. Like, love him.
But I have never seen, does he call himself Flip for nothing?
No, he did.
They did a spot where Marty kept trying to clothesline him, so Flip kept doing that half backflip thing over and over and over and over.
On
blew my mind.
Side note, they done that on I think it was last week's ROH show, where Matt and Nick kept trying to super kick him and were chasing him in the ring. He was doing it in a like semicircle, and he'd done it for like a full rotation and a half. And see the pop. Like, how the fuck? I love this guy.
They were great. It was a really fun card. All the matches were great fun. The Bucks versus the Buffet Club versus the Kings of Catch versus Polo Promotions.
That sounds like
the Bucks lost.
Oh.
They got pinned by the Kings of Catch. Well, everybody else did, but the Kings of Catch won it, so they're coming back for a rematch next year.
Oh, see, no, when they set that up, you can't be angry. You're like, alright, so they'll...
Did I say I was angry?
No, but like, if people were like, why the fuck did we come?
Well, exactly, they're going to come back and have a fight. Cody gave a little speech about how his back's done in, like it's really bad just now. He's going to make it to final battle, but Discovery had offered him like tag matches or maybe manage someday, and you know, that kind of thing. Just have yourself a rest. People will be happy to see you. But he wanted to wrestle BT Gunn. And that's what he did. He put on a great 20-minute match. Two of them worked together very, very well. They made it an ROH title match. Just for fun.
Just to get you on the edge of your seat a wee bit.
Oh, and Cody was totally healing it up as well. Even though he was still getting cheered, just started pulling out the heel tactics, and it was just so much fun. The whole night was just fun. You know, Joe Coffey and Matt Cross was the main event. It wasn't as good as the rest of the card. It's just, I don't know, they just seem to not quite click, even though they've had matches before. There was something a little bit off. It's very stop, start. Picked up towards the end, though. Kaylee Ray was in for Viper, who I finally caught up with, because she'd sneaked into the back of the hall to watch the match. So I nipped over to say hello. Basically, Viper's on doctor's orders to rest because she has been going non-stop since January. And she needs a break. And, you know, I guess travelling to Japan and America and back and again, going all over the place and wrestling everywhere they can, including a crazy cage match in front of 2,500 people.
Yep.
Where you take 2 bumps off the top of the cage. It's going to get to you. So, shoulders a bit sore. They asked her, or they told her, you should just have yourself a wee break. But she had a new T-shirt, which was designed by Lewis Govan, I think. Mm-hmm. Anyway, They brought her in to, take photos and punt the new T-shirt, basically, so she could still make a bit of money. And the lassies in the ring were wearing the new T-shirt as well to advertise it for her, Sammy Jane and Kaylee. And it was really nice to catch up with her. Had to buy one of the T-shirts for myself. Cat got one as well. And the photos, of course. Finally got to speak to Kaylee herself as well, and complete sweetheart. I mean, she could easily kill me in any way she wanted, because she is honestly one of the toughest women ever.
One wrong word and you're dead.
Well, exactly, but she is lovely, and I felt really bad I didn't even have some of her stuff as well. So next time, it was just really nice to have a wee chat. I was trying to help Matthew out by getting Viper or the Bullet Club to do a wee group Watchamania intro. But the club guys, they were just too busy because obviously they went out interval to punt stuff and sign things and all that. And Viper was just... and Viper was just too shy. Which amused me endlessly.
She never did something for Matthew, right?
She's going to do it next time.
Ah.
And she hasn't done a Watchamania intro, that's why she was so shy about it. I was just
as far as I know.
I was just so amused that this tough ass kicker got so shy so easily. That idea.
So sweet though, like
I know, but the two of us were like.
She's a really nice person.
The both of us were fangirling at the Bullet Club as well. So she's like, I went back there and I said, I was like, oh, hi, hi guys, like, hiding her mouth. I did the same thing.
That's so cute.
It was just great to catch up with her, and it was a really good show. And everybody should go and see Discovery, because they feel like the best kept secret in Scottish wrestling, if not the UK. And they're booking these incredible cards. They're pulling in talent from all over the world. Like there's people there, much like the Bullet Club, and like you're not going to see anywhere else except for Revolution Pro, who are infinitely more expensive.
Aye.
Or you'll need to go over to OTT in Dublin and the like, which again, not really cheap from here, because their ticket prices are always low. They get the very best talent. They do a raffle. Everybody loves a raffle.
Everybody loves a raffle. You sound like my gran.
You ever been to British wrestling?
Aye, but it was just like...
Everybody loves a raffle.
Oh, you just... It's too
Didn't
much.
win, but because they're bastards.
Rigged.
Rigged the raffle, but everybody loves it.
No wonder.
Just had a good time. It was just fun. Above everything else, and like I love how accessible they make their talent, because it's a family thing. So whenever the interval hits, the talent are out there either selling their T-shirts or taking photos or entertaining the kids, and they're just. What I find fun is that when you see like the likes of Chris Renfrew, who's known for like ICW and doing insane matches where he's covered in blood,
yeah,
and all this. When you see him in Discovery, he's just having a laugh. Like he's shown that he can actually wrestle. He's putting on great matches, and like the last show that was at the Corn Exchange, it was the Knack in one of their, I think it was like a 3 or 4 way tag match, and that was the one where Lucy Cole got hurt. So once they brought everybody out the hall and all the wrestlers were there, seeing those two have so much fun in their match, and then they were so good with the kids. Taking the photos with them and having giving them all such a good laugh, and it's so good to see that other side of them that you'd never see anywhere else.
Aye.
And it's great. I cannot recommend them enough. And again, a huge thank you to Alan from Discovery, because he helped me set everything up. Sent my Facebook message and got back to me in 5 minutes.
So did you say Kat sussed it out?
Well, mainly because my excuse was so weak, but I kind of had to say something because our work was trying to keep her back, and I thought they might pull it in the Thursday, and by the time she finishes, we'd have had to, if she finished at a normal time, we'd have been late.
Mm-hmm.
That she was getting away as soon as, so came home, got a drink, and then we were out. But she had a great time. She take a smile off her face.
Oh, that's so cool.
And again, thank you to Discovery for helping me out.
I'm pretty sure the fangirl moment was enough.
Oh, totally. But it's like the opposite of ICW. They're so accessible to their fans. And do you know what I quite like as well? When they realised that their next event wasn't to March, so they put one on in January. And because they were kind of organising it last minute, like, right, what should we do? Well, it's January, let's have what will we do in this Rumble? And they asked the fans, what would you like to see? So they came up with a thing where there are going to be 20 wrestlers who are completely new to Discovery, with the idea being the winner gets a contract, you know?
Yeah.
So you'll have like your Rumble bit, and it's last two guys, it's pinfall or submission to win. So the whole that's going to be like their big event for it, along with whatever else they throw together. But they were asking fans, any matches you want to see, who you want to not done yet, and things like that, and it was like voting, or if you got any ideas, just let us know. And I love that about it. They're completely open.
Your opinion actually matters, because they want to put a... They're a company, it's a really weird thing in wrestling. If you're a fan of them who will not be named, you as a fan are wanted, so therefore they want to give you what you want. So there's an open dialogue, and it just feels like for
so refreshing.
It's been lost, that it's been this is what this company's doing.
But it's so accessible, and they're so helpful, and the atmosphere at the matches are fantastic. Like, because obviously it's a family thing. Like, you know, Marty always does a spot in his matches. He goes for a move, he fucks up, and then he goes, "Oh shit!" Right? The crowd immediately start going, "That's not PG." You know? And there's loads of that stuff. So they want you to chant along and all. It's like, "You trying to say it? There's kids here, you dick." Also, can I just give a special mention? There's a guy, now I don't know what his real ring name is, right? I think it's The Cure.
Oh.
But the pants that he's got, like his wrestling trunks, make it look like it says The Cube.
Oh, wow.
And he's became a total cult figure, because when he came out to be a lumberjack the other night, the whole crowd started going, "Cube, Cube, Cube, Cube."
That's incredible.
It's great.
Wow.
Anyway, go see Discovery if you can, because they put on the best shows. The atmosphere's great. They're all about fun, and it's so refreshing compared to the stuff we've been putting up with the indies here recently. It's a W.
So I think we pretty much covered everything except the New Japan Tag League, but we are going to do that anyways when it's done.
Basically, you're going to get Tanga, Loa, and Tama Tonga against Evil and Sanada for your final.
And it's going to be good. It's going to be so good.
When are they doing the final? Are they doing it at Wrestle Kingdom, or?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not sure either.
Oh well. Anyway, folks, thank you for joining us. We've had a good time. We've overshot our time again.
No, not quite. We're well under an hour.
All right. Well, if you take the restart away.
Don't let them know, kayfabe.
But
speaking of which, my picture with the Bullet Club had to help them out by ducking because I'm too tall. Keep kayfabe, make them look big.
And one more thing, because after we're done recording, I'm going to upload this episode to save Will some trouble. And since it's still Sunday, please type into the comments, "Happy birthday, Kirsty."
Yes, do that, because it's her birthday. Not just, for a laugh.
Don't just be like, wait, what? Leave me what?
So, happy birthday, Kirsty. I'm really glad you got to rant about rapey people.
Me too. It's been great birthday. I'm over fucking ranting about rapey, assaulty motherfuckers. Trash bag human.
Truly the best gift.
Oh, everybody knows I love a rant.
Oh, yes, they do. So,
no show without it.
During the week for the usual show. And It'll be sometime between Wednesday and Friday, or possibly Saturday. See how we feel. And of course, Gash of Champions. Yes, I called it Gash because that's what it's going to be. It's on Sunday, and we may very well manage a live show. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But there'll be previews, and Flo will lose his paper championship.
Yes, he will. I'm coming.
So, thank you for joining the Stand Up Wrestling
Kirsty.
Indie show.
Kirsty, was that a challenge?
Was that a what?
A challenge.
It was. It is every month when I lose because I'm Sammy. I won in NXT and I'm never winning again.
I had my title stolen. Stolen! By Vince and Will.
You screwed yourself.
Yeah,
I was...
you have to win again, so do it if you can.
Anyway, I've been Martin.
I've been Kirsty.
And I've been your current champion.
Of paper.
Of people.
Give me a scissor and thumb and not.
I don't even know what he's saying anymore. It's just...
That's better.
Aye.
So,
Bye!
anyways, see ya.